Welcome into the Principal Edge to the Game. Bonnie Bernstein alongside our managing editor, Pete Fiutak, here in our Campus Insider studios. Let's get right to week 5. But first, let's rewind. Duke Miami last year, when the Blue Devils beat the Canes, that was a signature win for David Cutcliffe's program. This time around, who has the edge, Pete? Is it Duke scoring offense or Miami scoring D? Yeah,
most of the time, I could be wrong, check the stats, but when you score more points than the other team, you generally win. And Duke's got an offense that can do a little bit of everything. Last year was about the passing attack. They had to keep bombing to keep up with the defense that kept giving away points and yards in bunches. This year, a little more balanced. Freshman Sean Wilson's been running really well. That ground game's been fantastic. Miami's defense has just been okay, not great. I'm going to take the Duke offense over the Miami defense.
So if you score more points, you win the game.
It's crazy how this works. I'll check on that,
You teach me something new every day.
I
To the SEC we go. Brett Bielema has got the ground and pound going for Arkansas. Razorbacks heading to A&M. Who has the edge here? Is it Arkansas's run game or A&M's run defense?
It's finally starting to come together. He's trying to put together Wisconsin and Fayetteville, and it's taken a little while. He's got the big, ugly hogs up front. He's got the great running backs, and they're pounding ball control, keep Kenny Hill off the field, and this running game can control the game. I think Texas A&M wins it, but I do think the Arkansas running game does big things. And in this scenario, I like the Arkansas running game.
And if you score the most points, you still win.
If he does that, yes.
Yeah. And this is a neutral site game, by the way, at Jerry World, AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Another SEC game for you, Mizzou coming off that really bizarre loss to Indiana, visiting number 13 South Carolina. How about the Tigers quarterback, Matty Mock, against South Carolina's pass D?
Well, last year was one of the classic games of the season. Matty Mock was okay, came up with a lot of big plays, but he was inaccurate. Under 50% of his passes, couldn't come up with the big drive when they needed to. Connor Shaw came in, pulled off the classic win over Mizzou. This year, the problem is this pass defense for South Carolina isn't stopping anybody. It's not just Kenny Hill in that opener. They're getting picked apart. You can dink and dunk on this secondary to death. That's what Matty Mock's going to do. Not a lot of long pass plays, not a lot of downfield bombs, but a lot of short underneath stuff. I'm going to give it to Matty Mock.
All right, finally, Pete, we're going to head out to the Pac-12. We're going to mix things up on you. We're going to go coaching matchups.
Yes.
So you got Chris Petersen coming over from Boise State, doing a great job, 4-0 at Washington. The Huskies are hosting 16th ranked Stanford. We know David Shaw can coach a little bit. Who has the edge here? Petersen, the new guy in the Pac-12, or David Shaw?
Yeah, it's hard to go against the guy who's won a bunch of Pac-12 titles at Stanford. But Chris Petersen, at the moment, he's kind of got his team in place. It's been a little bit. It's taken a process to get to this point for Washington. Struggled to start the season against Hawaii. They're trying to figure it out, finally get their quarterback situation settled with Tyler Miles back. And now they just have to be consistent. Can they handle the physical play of Stanford? I just don't think Stanford's good enough this year compared to past couple years. I think Washington does this because I think Chris Petersen has a great game coach.
Yeah, it's a pretty loud, rowdy place to play up there.
Yes, it will be. They're going to be jacked up.
Although, you got to say, Lance Anderson's done a really nice job filling in for Derek Mason as D coordinator at Stanford, so it should be a great game. Enjoy the games, everyone. Thanks for watching the Principal Edge to the Game. Principal will give you an edge.